This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
So good, so good, so good.
New fall arrivals are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Get ready to save big with up to 60% off Vince, Kurt Geiger London, and more.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
Because there's always something new.
Join the Nordy Club at Nordstrom Rack to unlock exclusive discounts on your favorite brands. Shop new arrivals first and more. Plus, get an extra 5% off every Rack purchase with a Nordstrom credit card. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
This is Optimal Health Daily. How to Become a Superhero in 4 Easy Steps by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Welcome back to another edition of Optimal Health Daily. This is where I read to you from some of the best health and fitness blogs on the web, kind of like an ongoing audiobook. Now, we have 5 shows where we narrate blogs for you, covering a bunch of different topics. Check them all out by searching for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this. Now, I can't wait to read this post to you. I mean, come on. How to become a superhero? That was my dream as a kid. Seriously, when I was a kid, while watching the original Tim Burton Batman with my dad, I was so inspired, I turned to him and said, when I grow up, I want to be Batman. I mean, I could see myself swinging from lamppost to lamppost in my neighborhood as my friends watched in awe, wondering who that masked, child-sized superhero was. And so for me, becoming a superhero has been a dream since I was a child. So before I get too excited, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. How to Become a Superhero in 4 Easy Steps by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. Last week, while watching Kick, I was trolling around the Nerd Fitness message boards and came across an introduction post from Chrysomaticus, which ended with this. Chrysomaticus is a name I took on with my health kick, which started by doing the Warrior Dash, and it stuck. I then thought back to my buddy Tony, who had adopted the persona Endorphin Dude for every time he ran a race. Tony had even created a uniform for himself, including a custom headband with Endorphin Dude written on it, and a cape that billows in the wind as he runs. I can't believe it took me this long to write this article, because it just fits. It's time for you to become a superhero. If you're struggling with motivation, or you're just getting started on your quest to level up and you're intimidated, building a superhero version of yourself could be the jumpstart you need. Here's why. Well, first, superheroes kick butt. Whether they're in video games, comic books, or movies, superheroes are so awesome because they can do the impossible, giving us a chance to escape the real world and live vicariously through them. They're lightning fast, incredibly strong, and invincible. They can fly, stop bullets, and scale buildings. They're brave as heck and enjoy walking into dire situations with a giant smile. They beat the crap out of any adversary, save the girl or the world or the dog from certain death, and then brush it off with some witty double entendre. Superheroes are bad mofos, and it's time for you to become one too. 1. Decide what you want to accomplish. You might be overweight, out of shape, scared to leave your house, and embarrassed about your life. However, you can create an alter ego that is the exact opposite of those things, and that's the person that will turn things around. Just think of all the scenarios that play out in your quest to get in shape. You might give up 2 miles into a race because you're tired. Your alter ego would push through the pain and finish. You might quit your weightlifting session early because you had a rough day at the office. Your alter ego would get angry, and you wouldn't like him or her when he or she is angry. Get motivated and power through the rest of the workout. You might be incredibly self-conscious. Your alter ego isn't self-conscious in the slightest, thanks to a costume and persona that is different from how you normally dress and act. If people can't recognize you, there's no need to be self-conscious, right? Make the superhero version of yourself do all of the things that you're afraid of or are struggling with. Why? Because superheroes attack problems in different ways than a normal cubicle dweller. That's why they exist, to do stuff that ordinary people can't. 2. Determine your persona. By day, Tony is an ordinary employee for his Dolby Laboratories. He hangs out with his dog Chewbacca, creates short films with his friends, and lives a relatively ordinary life. However, practically every single weekend, Tony dons his customary uniform and becomes Endorphin Dude. He has a cape, a custom headband, and a huge freaking smile. Wearing this uniform makes Tony impervious to pain and allows him to finish some excruciatingly difficult races where normal Tony might have failed. Normally, I'm just plain old Steve. I spend my time working on Nerd Fitness, answering emails, writing articles, and hanging out on Twitter. I'm always really happy and smiling. Things change whenever I go to the gym, however. I throw on my uniform, a ripped up t-shirt, basketball shorts, my Vibram 5-finger shoes, and a permanent scowl. My headphones are in, I jump around between my sets to pump myself up and get this crazy look in my eyes before every set. I become a much angrier, stronger, and more determined version of me, and it works. So, what about you? Some superheroes have elaborate costumes to hide their identity. Others, like Superman, simply remove their glasses and throw on some spandex and suddenly nobody can recognize them. Some people become funny and confident when they transform. Others become more businesslike and hardcore. Some like to work together in groups. Others like to work alone. Your alter ego can be whatever you want it to be. So, dream big, kid. Each day, as you shed your shirt and tie or skirt and high heels from the office, you are transforming. As you start to put on your workout clothes, your daily worries, troubles at home, and anxiety about tomorrow's presentation cease to exist for the time being. You're now a superhero, and you have bigger fish to fry. As you're getting prepped and ready, imagine your pre-workout ritual being filmed with dramatic camera angles and inspiring music playing. If Tony Stark can have a montage, so can you. 3. Pick a theme song. While transitioning from normal Steve to Super Steve, I always turn on music to get fired up. My song of choice is Eminem's Till I Collapse. It puts me in the right frame of mind to get angry and go kick some butt. Seriously, listen to the song and imagine me dramatically strapping on my 5-finger shoes and leering menacingly into a mirror. Ridiculous, I know. Ridiculously awesome. Get yourself a montage pump-up song. After that, make sure you have some other songs that can be used for the other super dramatic or action-filled moments of your superhero life. I have a workout playlist that makes me excited and motivated. So, do you have songs for these moments? If you're a runner, do you have a set of songs that help you climb those hills when giving up is the easier option? If you're a weightlifter, do you have specific songs you can turn to when you need that extra bit of oomph to finish the set? If you're into martial arts, how many times a day do you listen to You're the Best by Joe Esposito? Just kidding. Kind of. 4. Decide what you stand for. What are you fighting for? Superman adheres to a strict moral code when dealing with crime, fighting to protect Lois Lane and save the Earth. Batman does everything in his power to clean up the streets of Gotham, striking fear in the hearts of would-be criminals and thieves. Whenever I lift weights, the Nerd Fitness Rebellion is in the front of my mind. I exercise to inspire and motivate because you inspire and motivate me. It's easy to fight with conviction when you have something worth fighting for. Think of the Nerd Fitness Rebel Army like a real-life Justice League. We're all different. We all have unique talents and abilities, and we're all dealing with our own kryptonite. We're also all fighting for the same cause, to become better people, to help those around us, and to leave the world a better place for our kids. We have certain standards that we must live up to, and we know that with each other's support, we can create a movement that is more powerful than anything this world has seen. We're the good guys, and we want you on our side. So, who are you? I challenge you to create an alter ego for yourself. Think up a cool name, not something lame like Super Steve, geez. Pick a theme song, pick your uniform, and pick your special power. You just listened to the post titled, How to Become a Superhero in 4 Easy Steps by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. It can be difficult to find time to cook in the fall with busier routines, back to school, and shorter days. But no matter how hectic it gets, Factor makes it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious. They make it easy to support your wellness goals with a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp without any extra cost. For the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. If I wasn't already meal prepping weekly myself, it's what I'd use. Eat smart at factormeals.com/OHD50off and use code OHD50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code OHD50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. One thing I love about Indeed is how it speeds up hiring. When I've hired in the past, the process was overwhelming, and I wish I'd used Indeed. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. So, I have another confession for you. In my hopes to become a superhero in my own mind at least, I took this idea a step further. Similar to what you heard in Steve's post, whenever I work out, I wear the same colors. In fact, when I used to instruct an exercise physiology lab, I would come in wearing gym-type clothing, and my students would notice that I would always wear the same outfit, a gray shirt and black athletic pants. Of course, I wouldn't wear the same exact clothes day after day. That would be disgusting. Instead, I bought multiple quantities of the same shirt and pants. So, at some point, my students said, "How come you always wear the same gym clothes every day?" And here's what I said. I imagine that this is my superhero costume. Superheroes wear the same costume when they're saving the world. And every time I walk into the gym, I want to feel like I'm a superhero. I want to feel inspired and ready to take on anything. So, this is my costume. And I could see the light bulbs in their heads go off. And of course, I chose gray and black because Batman is often featured sporting those colors. And if I had to pick a theme song, which I haven't done before, and I'm glad Steve mentioned it, it would have to be The Batman March by Danny Elfman from the 1989 Batman film. But beyond that, I do have my own workout playlist that I use all the time. So I'm a huge fan of listening to music to help me get through my workouts. Oh, and I should mention that my students made my year because at the end of that term where I was teaching them exercise physiology, they said I was the Batman, and I nearly cried. Now, they may have just wanted extra credit and were trying to butter me up, but I choose to think otherwise. All right, that'll do it for the Thursday episode. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back here tomorrow for the Friday Q&A and where your optimal life awaits.